Sikorsky returned to his first love, the VS-300. I think it's best to quote his own words when he said, "It was a wonderful chance to live one's life all over again, to design a new aircraft without knowing how to design it, build it without knowing quite how to build it. Then you climbed into the aircraft and took off, and you hadn't flown a helicopter before in your life. So you taught yourself to fly as you conducted a test program on a new and completely radical machine." It's enough to say that the VS-300 worked 3 years, and significantly, it pioneered and perfected a configuration that many aviation authorities at that time considered to be impossible, namely the single main lifting rotor and tail rotor. Today, roughly 90 to 93% of all the helicopters around the world are built to this configuration that Igor Sikorsky developed. Below the VS-300, the R5s. These started the long chain of life-saving rescues by helicopter, something that was always dear to my father's heart. The Jolly Greens, the S-61 upper right, continued that tradition of saving lives by helicopter, both in the military and in the Coast Guard, and in the Coast Guards of a number of other nations. It is truly one of the great, I would call it, pivotal helicopters. 1,600 odd built, 600 plus still flying today, and if you're willing to take a bet, I personally will bet they'll be flying for at least another 30, 35 years. It just is an unbeatable combination of engine and aircraft. Equally unbeatable is the Black Hawk, Seahawk, Jayhawk, whichever Hawks you want. Here you see one of the Coast Guard Jayhawks that was responsible after Hurricane Katrina destroyed New Orleans. The Coast Guard alone saved some 30,000 people by rescuing them with winches. The total amount of people saved by Coast Guard, Air Force, Army, and the civilian helicopters is something over 60,000. We can't give you exact figure because nobody knows even today. The pilots were not counting people as they pulled them off roofs and saved them. I would like to say that Igor Sikorsky and Sikorsky Aircraft have been innovating almost from the beginning of aviation. And now that we have reviewed the past, I'd like to hand the microphone over and let's take a good look at what is going to happen in the future. Thank you.